Hi everybody, welcome to another episode of First Dates. I am very excited to be going on a first date with Selkirk pickleball pro Andrei Daescu. He's a bit of a man of mystery, so we'll be very excited to get to know him a little bit off the court. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, everybody. Lauren McLaughlin, along with Andrei Daescu from Romania.
From Romania, indeed.
I think I rolled an R, just it didn't need to be done. But
you've done a pretty good job with it.
I love it. All right. So you're, of course, a Selkirk pickleball pro. I think some people may know you. You don't necessarily, play an exorbitant amount of tournaments. You have a full-time job. You got some little ones. So we're very excited to be chatting about not pickleball. So,
wow.
Are you
ready?
Okay.
I guess I am ready.
Every other time you sat down, it's probably been all about pickleball, right?
That's exactly right. But I'm ready for no pickleball as well.
I love it. Fantastic. That's what we're here to do. So, first of all, Daescu is correct, right?
That's correct. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I asked.
It's a very tough one. Yeah.
You
did get a little help before this.
That's true. From you, so
I'm not sure
that's
help or cheating, but you got it right.
Hey, if you're gonna ask somebody, you ask the right people.
Definitely.
That's what it's all about. All right, so we're just gonna start easy. We'll ease you into the non-pickleball stuff.
Oh, I appreciate that.
So you are from Romania.
I am from Romania. Yep.
So obviously, how much of your life did you live in Romania before you moved here? Kind of. Tell us just a little bit about your family, growing up in Romania.
Yeah, so I lived a fair amount. I lived until I was 12 pretty much the whole time, and then I started traveling a little bit with tennis, and I used to spend my summers up in Germany, training in a tennis academy over there. So I spent a couple of months a year over there in the summer, but then the rest of the year I'll be back in Romania. And then in 2007 I got recruited to play college tennis for the University of Oklahoma.
Okay.
And that's when I came over to the States. I graduated in 2011. And then I played professional tennis for a couple of years, and I was based out of Europe again.
Okay.
And then came back around 2015 and got into tennis coaching. Luckily ran into pickleball as well. I was doing tennis coaching, and here I am.
So 2015, you've been in the US now permanently since then?
Yes, for the most part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is your family still in Romania?
Yeah, my parents still live in Romania. I have a brother who lives in Germany. Actually, he's a soccer player. And then, I'm married and I have 2 kids here. So.
Okay, perfect. Did you meet your wife in Romania?
We did meet in Romania, yes.
Okay,
yes.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, wonderful. So tell us a little bit about your parents. Obviously, they're still in Romania. What did they do, or careers?
Both my parents are now retired. My mom was an accountant.
Okay.
And she did that pretty much her whole life. And then my dad used to own a press distribution company.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What did he?
It was a little bit back in the day, obviously. So the old man exactly used to deal a lot with the paper products that needed to be shipped, and it wasn't much electronically. So. We lived in Bucharest, which is the capital, a big hub, so he used to pretty much get it there and just send it all across the country and get that.
My mother is also an accountant.
Oh, really?
There you go. We have accountant mothers in common.
Yeah, I spent some days with her at work, and I can tell it's a very boring job.
You were like, not for me.
Yeah,
no, thank you.
I don't have that kind of attention span, no.
I love it. So do you just have the one brother?
I only have one brother, younger brother, yeah.
Nice. And he is a professional soccer player?
He's a semi-professional soccer player in Germany, yeah. Yeah, so.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right, very cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously you talked about tennis. Your career started very early, I assume, in Romania.
Definitely.
A lot of junior tennis, all of that good stuff. Did you play for Romania at all? Did you, what was the evolution of your tennis career? Start us early.
Yeah, I mean, I started playing competitive when I was about 10 or 11.
Okay.
And I started representing Romania in the juniors just across Europe by the time I was 12.
Okay.
And I've represented Romania in a couple of international competitions in the 12s, 14s, 16s, 18s, all that. Then obviously I went over to play college tennis, and I represented the University of Oklahoma for the 4 years there. And then I was part of the Davis Cup team for Romania between 2011 to 2013, and I actually got to play singles and a doubles tie. Yeah. So
I looked up a smidge about you beforehand.
Okay.
You peaked on the ATP rankings list in 2012 in both singles and doubles.
Yeah.
Do you remember? Do tennis players just remember like what was your highest ranking you ever got to?
I mean, I remember roughly the area I was in, but probably not the exact decimal. Yeah, I wasn't that high to remember the. I mean, I was in the 120s. I can tell you that much in doubles, and somewhere in the 600s in singles.
You were like 626. I want to say.
Yeah,
that's
somewhere. Yeah.
In the world.
Yeah.
That's nothing to. You're just like, oh, blah blah. Like 626 in the world, Andrei. That's pretty impressive.
Well, thank you. Yeah.
You're like, I mean, I guess fine if I have to. So I feel like a lot of people, especially in Europe, I've talked to, Patrick Smith, Jocelyn Duvier. They, same thing, lived in Europe, came over to play tennis in the States, kind of stayed here, and that was sort of it. When you're, playing junior tennis, especially in Europe, I would assume a lot of players get recruited by American universities. Is that normal, do you feel like, to kind of take that like college 4 years off, play that, and then go back to like professional tennis?
Yeah, especially these days, I think it's very normal for a lot of the players, unless you're, as a tennis player, unless you're already in the top, I would say probably 250 in the world by the time you're 18.
Okay.
It's a very risky move to go straight into the pros, so you probably have to go to college. College tennis in the States is definitely a great ramp for professional tennis.
Okay.
But, yeah, the concentration of high-level tennis players, it's amazing these days, and it's pretty much a natural step, again, unless you like to gamble big or you have some other plans that you think will work out.
Just think really highly of yourself.
Exactly.
Just real confidence, misplaced or not. You're like, I'm going pro.
So I thought I was okay as a tennis player, but definitely not in that argument of going pro. So I had to take the college route, and I'm really glad I did it because I enjoyed my time in college. I learned a lot. It definitely helped my tennis game as well, and it helped me as a person.
What did you major in college?
I majored in human resource management.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was that kind of, like, did you ever have plans to use that at all, or was it's just kind
of? The plan was to do something in the business school and to kind of stay around finances, economy, and that kind of stuff. And my first semester I took macroeconomy, and my second semester I took microeconomy. So I realized pretty quick that I don't have the brains for that kind of stuff, and I shifted over to human resource management, which is more about interpersonal interaction, communication, which I thought it was just something I'm more interested in rather than plugging numbers all day long, and that kind of stuff.
You didn't want to follow your mother's footsteps in the accounting realm?
Not at all, no, and that was definitely pointing a little bit that way, so.
You were like, nope, sorry mom, can't do it.
I had to change it up a little bit.
All right, so growing up in Romania, I mean, I assume especially, probably most of our viewers are from the States, American. We think Romania, and it's kind of like, oh, like Eastern Europe. We don't know a lot about Romania, and as a country, it has certainly had some tumultuous years, and things kind of go crazy. And I know that might have been a little bit over by the time you were born, but
right around then,
did you or your family or parents experience some of like the hardships of being?
So
what were they?
Before I tackle that one, actually,
you're like, let's dive into history.
There is there is actually pickleball being played in Romania right now, and the guy who put it together and deserves all the credit for that is actually Eden.
Yeah,
so Eden owns a tennis. Used to be a tennis club in his native place in Constanța.
Okay.
And then he expanded that to pickleball. He got a couple of nets over. He got the lines on, and he sent me quite a few videos of people really enjoying it.
That's so cool.
And my dad actually was in the States, and he's been in and out of the States, and he loves pickleball as well. So he's playing some as well. So even though it's nowhere near as big as here,
wow.
Because of Eden, to be honest with you, it's it's picking up over there, and people are enjoying it over there just like they are here. So,
That's so cool.
yeah, hopefully we'll be able to promote it there and just expand the game a little bit more over there. But now
let's get back to the Civil War.
Back to the communists now, and yeah, that kind of era. I mean,
Did your parents kind of live through?
Yeah, they definitely lived through that kind of era, and then I don't remember much. I was about a year and a half old when they got rid of Ceausescu, so I just know some of the stories from my parents, grandparents. It was definitely different back then, different political system, different interaction with the outside countries, much more rigid in terms of the borders, how much you can travel, what you can do. It's definitely a different world these days, especially 30-some years afterwards. Definitely a much better world, I would say. Yes, my parents pretty much went through those hardships.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I had some really tough times. No,
Yeah.
by the time I was born, I was old enough to know what's going on. Things are already getting better. So
Sure. Awesome.
Yeah.
And of course, you mentioned, you're married. You have 2 young kids.
I have 2 young daughters. Yeah, Olivia, she's almost 2 years old, and then I have a 3.5-month-old Sienna.
You have a little baby.
Yes, I have a little baby.
Congrats. That's pretty new.
That is why my tournament schedule is so tight at the moment.
Oh yeah, I mean you gotta give your wife a break every once in a while.
Well, between that and a pretty high demanding job, I don't get to travel too much, but I'm hopeful that's gonna change in the near future, and I'll be able to play a lot more.
Do you feel, obviously you've been able to see you had the experience being young growing up in Romania, and now you're raising your daughters here in the States. Are there things you just kind of, as you're raising them, looking at them, and you're like, oh my gosh, like this is worlds different than my childhood in Romania or how I grew up, and just does that ever strike you, the kind of difference?
Yeah, 100% it's different. I'm not sure if it's a generation thing or if it's also the place. I should have mentioned my mom is of German heritage, so she was obviously very strict. And so yes, compared to what's going on here, I would say it's a little different. Yeah, parents are a lot more laid back, and kids get a lot more freedom, so it's not easy to strike that fine balance between making sure the kids have enough freedom, but they're also doing what they're supposed to do, not what kids want to do,
So true. Do not let the children rule over you guys. You are the bosses.
Yeah.
You tell them what to do.
We'll see about that.
You're like, one day. Are they like daddy's girls? Are you wrapped around their little fingers?
Yeah. And
you're just like, no shame. Yes, 100%.
Definitely. And now with the older one, she's starting to be very interactive and do certain things that always amaze me, surprise me. You think of them as not really having a clue of what's going on, but they're actually pretty smart even at that age,
like,
in terms of getting what they want
around them.
That also, and just getting what they want. They know what kind of buttons to push.
They are
and all
masters
that.
of manipulation.
They are definitely.
Don't let them boss you around.
I've already lost that battle.
You're like, done. It's done. It's over with.
Well, with 2 girls at home, I'm relying a lot on my wife too.
Yeah,
to step it up.
You met your wife in Romania. Kind of just tell us a little bit about the background of how you guys met. Your dating, marriage relationship.
We used to go to the same middle school together.
Oh,
obviously had not much interaction at all besides.
You did not date in middle school.
Yeah, no, she was not quite up to my standards yet. So
we will not edit that out. She's gonna see that. You're in trouble.
Yeah. And we obviously took separate paths. I ended up going to a sports high school. She ended up going to like a math high school. She's considerably smarter than I am. And then obviously I did university college up here in the States. She did it back home. So we reconnected randomly at a tennis tournament. There was an ATP tournament in Bucharest that was sponsored by the bank that she was working for at that time. So that's how we reconnected. We kind of walked by each other, and we're like,
Did you remember each other? You were like, hey,
it was a familiar face. Yeah. And obviously we started talking.
She passed the test, the standard test, the second time around?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
You were like, holy cow, now she's way out of my league. I better get on this right now.
Exactly, yeah.
So you just kind of like reconnected
try to seal the deal.
Started, how long did you guys date before you got married?
That's a good question. We dated for about 5.5 years.
Okay.
Yeah, then we got married.
Nice. All right, and then how soon did the kiddies come along? Like, When did you get married? What year?
We got married in 2016.
Okay.
So, and the kids came till 19, so 3 years before the kids came around.
A little freedom.
Yeah, we did have a little freedom, a little honeymoon over there to really enjoy and do some things on our own. Had we known about kids and how much time they take, we probably would have extended a little bit more, but it's too late now.
To all the would-be parents out there, take your time. You can't.
It's a lot of fun,
back.
but yeah, definitely, yeah.
All right, excellent. So you're living in the States. Where do you live here locally?
I live
Florida?
pretty close by. I live about half an hour away from here. I live in Palm Beach Gardens, in Palm Beach County. I've been living here since May of 2015.
Okay.
Both my wife and I love this area. We love the weather. We love the stuff that we can do we love the fact that we can do a lot of stuff outdoors. We love spending time by the beach, so obviously that's very convenient. We get to play a lot of tennis, pickleball, do some diving, fishing, all the outdoor stuff. So.
Oh, that's so cool. Is your wife very sort of sporty?
Yeah, she's very sporty,
nice.
Very active as well. So that's why we're both in love with this place. We really don't mind the heat, even though it gets very hot here. We had enough of the snow in the winters.
Yeah, you're like, no, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So no, we're both in love with this place, and we're hoping to be around for a while. Yeah.
Nice, very cool. Did you sort of, you mentioned you kind of were done with pro tennis in 2013. Did you?
On and off, yeah.
What was kind of the I'm done with pro tennis?
Well, I had a shoulder injury that
yeah,
really limited how much I can train and play.
Okay. So it wasn't necessarily like you personally wanted to be done or felt just kind of at that
No,
stage
I actually ended up stopping pretty close to my highest ranking, actually, if you look over the results and all that. So it wasn't really necessarily my decision.
Okay.
I kind of had to.
Was that really hard for you? Was it?
It was definitely challenging. It took a couple of months to overcome it. You spend your whole life playing tennis, and I love the game of tennis as well, just like I love pickleball and obviously competing and all that. So it was definitely not easy, but you got to bounce back and figure some other things out, and that's why I think pickleball came in and really hit a soft spot over there. And I've been really enjoying competing in pickleball, and getting that kind of adrenaline going and seeing different places and competing against some really tough competitors, so that's a lot of fun for me.
The longevity of a pickleball career is much longer than tennis.
Knock on wood, let's hope so, yeah.
I mean, we
don't know.
The senior pro divisions call your name in 20 years, but it's always there for you.
Sure.
You're like, hey, I
never thought that far away, but
you never know. It's an option should you get there.
Sure.
So you mentioned you went to a sports high school.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, it's probably a little confusing in America. It's a different sort of schooling system in Europe, depending where you're from, country to country. Was it like tennis is the path that I'm on, so you kind of went to, like, is it like a boarding school?
No, so
for tennis, or?
Basically, it's almost like a regular school,
Okay.
just like it is here, like an in-person school for sure, but they give you a lot more flexibility to travel.
Okay.
So when you travel and obviously you're away from school, they'll send you the materials, so you somewhat shift to basically online school.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so that was the nice thing, to have that kind of flexibility, and they're offering it to athletes because we travel the most, and especially tennis players, they travel a whole lot. So yeah.
And then what was you mentioned you went to was it a tennis academy in Germany?
Yeah, so so the way they have it structured over there, their club tennis structure is amazing.
Okay.
Yeah, they have some really strong players. Everybody kind of plays for their own club, the one they grow up at, and they train, and they have an inter-club competition.
Okay.
Yeah, so they have a league over there that's got 5 or 6 divisions. I mean, it's very, very well structured, and the concentration of players is amazing, and you could pretty much find somebody to train with.
Okay.
Every single, there's somebody out there busting it and giving you a good training every day. So that's what makes it nice. Yeah.
Very cool. So what was growing up? Your brother, obviously now semi-professional soccer player. Did he ever? Were you guys always on like the tennis soccer path? Were you guys kind of played other sports growing up?
Yeah, we played different sports. My brother actually tried tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, he played for about a year and a half, and He was all right, but he didn't really enjoy the fact that he kind of had to play by himself. I think
he's more of a
team oriented, yeah. And so he shifted to soccer, and he had some success with that, and he stuck with it. I actually did try a couple of sports before tennis, but I was the opposite. I thought I like it more when I depend on myself, so that's why I like tennis.
So your brother's the extrovert and you're the introvert.
I guess you could say it that way, yeah. Yeah, I more of a control freak, I would say, yeah. I like to control my own destiny, yeah.
You're like, just me, nobody else.
Exactly,
I'll
yeah.
take care of business.
Yeah.
So what other sports did you try before tennis?
I mean, I tried soccer, I tried some basketball.
You are very tall. So
yeah, not for basketball, but yeah.
I mean,
6'4", it's okay.
You're like, I'm so short.
I'll be short for a point guard, yeah.
Yeah, you could be a point guard. There you go.
Yeah.
But you were like, but tennis kind of struck a.
Tennis was definitely the one that really got my attention. I've enjoyed it from day one. Again, I really enjoyed when I was competing the fact that I could really control what was going out there. You know, I didn't have to rely on, you know, my teammates or I don't know any outside factors. You know, once I stepped on that court, it was me against the guy across the net, and that's what I really enjoyed. Yeah.
So that obviously the lone thing is you can't blame anyone but yourself either when you lose.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Would you say you're an emotional tennis player?
I think I was an emotional tennis player when I was younger, like everybody else. I think I got a lot better as I got older. I don't think I'm very emotional right now. I mean, I like to get pretty pumped up and I get excited. I'm still alive, yeah. So I do that kind of stuff.
You're not like screaming, throwing rackets.
Yeah, no, not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah, no. As a kid, obviously, I went through that phase like everybody else did, but no, not anymore. I get over the wins, you know, the highs pretty easily. I get over the lows pretty easily.
You realize how little it really matters in like the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, it's more about the moment and just the competition, the fact that you get to compete out there, and that's really what matters. Yeah.
So you teach tennis now. That's your full-time job.
Yeah.
Is teaching at a club.
Yeah. So I'm the head tennis professional at Ballon Isles Country Club, which is a club in Palm Beach Gardens, a big private club with 20 tennis courts, 4 pickleball courts, and 4 more in the making.
Okay.
Very big facility. So I teach some tennis. I teach some pickleball. I definitely run some events as well.
Okay.
For tennis and pickleball. We run some junior camps. We've been doing for tennis. Hopefully we can incorporate pickleball sometime soon as well. Yeah. So the operations are pretty big.
The teaching side of all of this, did you always enjoy that or want to have that as part of your career? Did kind of after you weren't able to play anymore, that became the natural that pretty much, I got fed into it to a certain degree because I wasn't playing that far ahead, and because it was an injury, I didn't really know I had to stop. So, but I didn't mind it, and I enjoyed doing the teaching. So it wasn't really something that I wasn't having fun with. I enjoyed it right away. I enjoyed the process, you know, helping people get better, helping people get better in competition as well, which is 2 different things. So it wasn't really a tough switch for me. You know, I felt like it was pretty smooth in terms of the. And it's a good way. I mean, it's a good way to still be involved in, you know, the sport you love when you're not able to play super competitively anymore. Definitely, and I also enjoyed the fact that I didn't have to travel as much anymore either. So that was one of the pluses, and obviously being in this area, so having the opportunity to work at a club in this area was also a major plus for me. Nice, love it. So you mentioned. Obviously, your brother's in Germany.
Yeah.
Your parents in Romania still. Do you guys get back there often? How
I used to do it probably once a year before the kids. Now with the kids, I don't do it as often anymore.
Okay. The baby probably hasn't been. Has your 2-year-old been to Romania?
Yeah. She's been there once, right before COVID. Okay. Now with COVID, obviously they've been here. But my parents, they're able to travel and come see us. So they've been in and out for a good amount, so we're able to keep in touch. With my brother, it's been tougher now. Okay. Yeah, because obviously he has his own career, and COVID affected his career as well. So I haven't seen him about 18 months. But
oh wow.
Yeah. But with everybody else, we're keeping in touch.
How much younger is he than you?
3.5 years.
Okay, that's me and my brother, 3.5 years.
Yeah.
Are you guys very close?
Yeah, we're very close. We definitely keep in touch. we follow each other's results. You know, we ask how we're doing. I mean, it's
so
a good.
You still get to talk to him and all
Yeah,
that good stuff.
yeah,
You
definitely.
just haven't got to see him yet.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow.
A very good amount, I would say, considering we're 6 hours apart, and
Yeah.
and yeah, I have 2 little ones as well. So
That's true. Is he married or kids yet?
no.
That's
So I think he learned the right lesson from me. Yeah.
That's so terrible. Your children might see this one day. Daddy loves you and wanted both of you so much. I love it. Do you have, so obviously you have a brand new baby, but is 2 it for the kids at this stage, or do you want a bigger family? What's the plan?
No,
is there a plan?
The plan was always, we had a plan before. It was always 2,
Okay.
close in age. So it kind of happened. We were obviously lucky enough for it to happen the way we wanted to. So, I mean, 99.9%. I think we're two. It is, you know.
You're like, this is enough. Thank you.
Yeah. You have a plan, and if it works out, you don't want to jinx it.
It's me and my brother only, and my dad jokes that don't let them outnumber you.
Okay.
So, there you go.
All right. Well,
there you go.
we're cutting it very close. We better watch out then.
Just be careful. Be careful. You never know.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome. Love it. So, obviously, you mentioned Ed and Lika, your fellow Romanian that you play a lot with in pickleball and stuff. So he
really enjoy playing with him. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy. He played really well yesterday in
I know.
singles.
He ran very hard there. Yeah.
I think people very much enjoy him because looking at him, he looks like
he's such a crowd pleaser.
I heard you say he's the Hulk with a personality to match.
No, anywhere he goes, he captures the attention of the public.
That's because people are like, wait a second, what? That guy is huge. Like, what's happening?
Well, that, and also I think he's such a spectacular player. You know, he's got such good paddle skills, and a lot of times when you see a big guy like that, you don't expect him to really be too crafty. You think they'll play very physical,
How long have you known him?
We've known each other from back home from tennis for a long time, but the way we're obviously interacting, the time we're spending together right now, I'll say probably 5 years. Yeah.
Okay, but you have known him casually through tennis. And
he's a little bit older. He's a little bit older than me, so we didn't really interact much.
Okay.
In the juniors and all that, but obviously we knew of each other, and he was obviously a very, very good junior player as well. So, but we connected more now within the past 5 years, and especially with pickleball, we play a lot together. So.
Very cool. So your parents are both retired now. You said back in Romania. How are they spending their retiree years? Do they travel? Do they like to?
They spend quite a few months actually here in the States. They really like the little ones. They spend a lot of time, which is a great help for us as well.
They're only grandchildren right now, so.
Exactly.
Your brother's been no help in that area.
No. And I hope it stays like that because we like to have some help here.
Yeah,
so
you're like, grandparents, free babysitting, come visit whenever you want. Awesome. So they come and stay with you guys for a couple months at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quite a trip. It's about, when you put it all together, probably around 15 hours, let's say.
Okay.
So you don't want to come over and stay for 2 weeks. You don't even get adjusted to the time difference and all that. So they'll come here for a few months, especially at the nice time of the year, and then in the summer they have a lake house. So my dad is big into fishing. He'll do some fishing over there, and my mom is more into the quiet side. She'll read a lot and watch some TV shows and stuff like that. Yeah.
So what is, for people that, I would assume probably a handful of people maybe watching have ever been to Romania or know what the country is like, sort of as a country, how would you describe it to people that are like, I've never been here, like what's the
it's a lot different
geography like, I
think it's a lot different than the perception of someone who hasn't been there.
Yeah, because I would say it's probably, people probably think very like Eastern European, like they think Russia, they think, very. Yeah,
so first thing, it's got a lot more Latin influence than actually
really?
Slavic. Yeah, so 70% of the language is Latin. So if you hear it, it sounds, I think, a little bit more like Spanish or Italian. And for us Romanians, for sure, we have a much easier time learning Spanish, Italian, French than we do Russian.
Okay.
I could definitely understand a little French, a little Spanish. I have no clue when it comes to Russian.
You're like, nope, I cannot have a conversation with Irina Tereshchenko at any point.
Oh, no. I mean, I know some of the words, and but it's not the kind of words that you can have a conversation with. Yeah.
Correct. So what
she taught me that, by the way. So.
You're like, it's cool. She's cool. So is it mountainous? Is it
Well, it's
dry? Is it cold?
It's got a little bit of everything. No,
Okay.
it's similar to the, I guess, northern part of the U.S. It's got
Okay.
4 seasons.
Oh, okay.
Winters can get pretty rough. Summers can get pretty hot. If I had to pick, let's say, a similar place, I would say probably the state of New York.
Okay.
We have the Black Sea. That's actually, Eden lives very close by to it.
Okay.
Then about the 3-hour drive from there, we have the Carpathian Mountains. So we have that kind of thing as well. It's a little bit of everything in a fairly small country. It's a little bit smaller than the state of Florida. So
Oh, well, that is pretty.
yeah,
pretty tiny.
but we do have a little bit of everything. Obviously, these days with globalization, the big cities are I would say somewhat similar to what you see in the rest of the world.
Okay.
Yeah, a lot of the big companies now are down there, so it's a lot of international influence. So it's I think it's definitely worth the visit. I would suggest doing it in the summer. Yeah.
You're like, not so much in the winter.
Yeah, unless you enjoy skiing and that kind of cold stuff, but it can sometimes get pretty cold. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
What about like fall, spring? Is that like a nice time, or
It's a nice time.
do you have like a rainy season? Or not so
Yes, I mean it's not a tropical
No,
place.
yeah,
It's
no
normal
more than
climate, so
normal.
yeah, it's no more than normal.
Okay.
It gets rainy obviously in the spring and in the fall,
much? Okay.
but I wouldn't say it's more than any other place around here. So I would stick with the summer. It's,
What are some of your like favorite things about Romania that like when you go back to Romania they definitely don't have here that you look forward to when you go home? Whether it be food.
yeah, well the
place
food
you
I was gonna say food is definitely the number one
Okay.
for sure. It's
Do you have like a favorite Romanian dish?
can't say I have a favorite Romanian dish, but I have a couple that I enjoy. Luckily, Eden likes to cook, so
What?
yeah, he's an absolute master when it comes to cooking, and he loves
my
it too.
gosh.
So I enjoy the fact that he likes to cook, because I grab a bottle of wine or a beer and I let him do his thing, and we have some Romanian food. There's a couple of places around here where we can get Romanian food, so
Oh,
it's
very cool.
yeah,
And you
it's
find
very
it's
enjoyable.
authentic enough that it's
Yeah, they actually bring it from Romania, so
Very cool.
it's authentic enough. I wouldn't say it's the same, but it's authentic enough, and it's definitely very good.
nice. Is there anywhere that you enjoy, like that you go visit in Romania, or like a place that you like to go to when you go home?
Well, I go to the seaside,
Okay.
just like everybody else, and I also like the proximity. Again, after you visit the seaside and spend a couple of weeks there, you can go up in the mountains and get some quiet time,
Very cool.
and there's some very nice scenery. I mean, it's a beautiful country, the landscape and everything. It's amazing. So I like kind of mixing it up a little bit between the mountains and the sea. Yeah, and then I also really like Bucharest. It's a big hub, about 3 to 3.5 million people living there right now.
Okay.
Yeah, very international, a lot of stuff to do, very cultural. So
Nice.
I
All right.
I love
Romania.
spending some time
It
back
probably
at home.
wasn't on your travel list, but put it on now.
Yeah, I strongly suggest it.
Very cool. So
Yeah,
you
do it in the
obviously-
summer though. Don't
Summer.
Yeah, don't get that
Summer.
messed up.
When you obviously traveled a lot for tennis,
Yeah.
probably lots of. Is there outside of Romania a country or a place even in the States that kind of was like your favorite place that you've gotten to travel to?
I have a few that have nothing in common. I really
That's the best.
in Europe I really enjoyed Germany.
Okay.
I enjoyed the people there and how they go about life in general, and some of the places and some of their big cities. So I really enjoy Germany when it comes to Europe. Greece is obviously very nice in Europe as well, and Italy. I enjoy Italy because of the food, and everything is very authentic, and I enjoy that kind of stuff. You know, in terms of the U.S., I think California is, it's the place that right now it's maybe along with Europe, but right now it's definitely one of the main states, and it's got everything from
It does,
I don't know,
it's true.
mountains to seaside to everything you need in there. You know, so
So true.
yeah.
Perfect.
So California, San Diego, LA, San Francisco, all these places, I thought they were amazing.
Nice. Very
Yeah.
cool. So you're teaching, you're playing pickleball now, all that good stuff. What is kind of, do you have even like a couple years into the future, like do you just hope to be doing what you're doing now still? You know, the girls will get a little bit older, do a little more family stuff, but do you see yourself here doing this for a little while?
Yeah, definitely. I think we're in a good place right now, and I think with the little girls getting older, things are going to get easier. So that's going to allow me to play a little bit more. Since Florida is seasonal, I'll definitely be able to play a lot more in the summer months. So I think we're in a good spot. Yeah, I just think it's gonna take a little time, but I do see myself being in the same spot, and I think having a lot more opportunity within the next 16 months, let's say 16 to 18 months. Yeah.
Nice. So what is your wife's name?
Sorry?
What's your wife's name?
My wife's name is Andrei Done. Yeah.
It's close to mine. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah. So obviously before the girls, maybe now even when you were dating and stuff, what is kind of like, if you guys could be like, hey honey, let's go here, do this, like what's some of your favorite things to do together?
I'll probably taking a trip to the Keys and doing some diving over there, and eating some good food down there, and
are you guys
taking
both
the boat out.
divers?
The minimum certification. Don't think that we're not gonna
like
we're not going down for the
diving.
Titanic or anything, but we could definitely
treasure hunters.
We're getting out on the boat, and especially in the Keys, everything is pretty shallow and the water's so clear. So there's a lot of good reefs over there. So you just hop on a boat and you hop over different reefs.
For you guys, it's kind of like something outside, something.
Definitely something that keeps us active. Maybe a bike.
Go watch a movie, go to dinner.
No, we don't do a lot of that kind of stuff.
You're like, let's go do something cool and fun.
Yeah, exactly. A little adventure, definitely outside, somewhat physical as well. So whether we take a bike ride, we used to go kayaking a lot. Nice. Stuff like that. By the water too, we both love the water, so.
Nice, I love it. Do you, is her family still in Romania?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Does she have a large, small family?
No, she's the only child, and her parents are still back home, so. Yeah.
Easy peasy.
Exactly, very simple.
Do they come visit the grandkids?
They haven't yet.
Okay.
But I'm sure once things get a little easier in terms of traveling, they will,
Nice, very cool. So you, of course, pickleball now is kind of your thing. Do you have plans to get the girls into like tennis? Or are you kind of
I have plans to get them exposed to it.
Okay.
And then
let them decide if they like it.
Definitely. If they're enjoying it, I have no problem helping them with it. I just want it to come from them, and if they're gonna come and ask for help or guidance or anything they need, then I'll be more than glad to do it.
Nice, but you're not gonna be like, come on girls, tennis.
I'm definitely gonna push them to be very serious and work hard on whatever they want to do, whatever sport or whatever they decide to do, but not just for tennis, Maybe they don't have the same passion I had, so I don't want to.
Oh, hey, I think that's a good parenting tactic.
Yeah.
Just, do something, give it your best. If you don't like it, it's not for you, that's fine. I like it.
Yeah.
It's nice. All right, well, wonderful. Thank you so much for sitting down with me and chatting a little bit. I think probably a lot of people in the pickleball scene maybe know of you, know your name. I've seen you play a couple times. You and Ed made an amazing run at Nationals in 2019.
We did in California,
which was very exciting. I think that was probably the first time I saw you play, which was very cool. Obviously, hopefully we'll be back at Nationals this year if COVID
hopefully we're not a big run like that.
Ooh, yes, hopefully we'll see you back on center court again. But thank you so much for chatting with me and letting everyone kind of get to know you a little bit off the court and about you and growing up and all that. So thank you so much.
No, thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure, and I hope to catch up with a lot of the pickleball fans and players around the pickleball court. So
yes, and in Romania, I'm so excited that
anywhere we can play some pickleball. Yeah,
I love it. That's so cool. All right, thank you so much for joining us, guys, on my first date with Andrei Daescu. Make sure and check him out on the court and whatever he is doing. Thank you so much for watching again, and stay tuned to see who I'm going on a first date with next. Bye, guys.